Here we are all about evolving out loud in our life, harmony, and our purpose through the energy of our ancestors. I want to thank you for your likes, your comments, your shares, and your subscribes here on the channel. It is always appreciated. And a major shout out to all the channel members as well as the members over on my website and on Patreon. Thank you for your continued support. I hope you enjoy the content that you get back there. So we are here with 000. This is like an angel number message, but not an angel number message at the same time. Okay. And the reason for that is because I had seen 000 and was thinking about it for a while. Okay, why is this not one to like? I was seeing 000 and thinking about it for a while. And then a member had brought it up, and I was like, okay, confirmation, because I was thinking of it, but the message wasn't fully there. And it was while I was taking my shower that the message appeared. Okay. Okay, I don't like. That's much better. Much better. Okay. And so this energy, as we get into this message, I want to first, of course, I have to put disclaimers out before every video. My angel number videos and collective messages are not for everyone. They're for people who are on a specific frequency. So if you are not on that frequency, you're either going to be triggered by the message or you're just going to be, turned off by the message. But either or, it's not my problem. When we find problems with situations, it's more of a us and how we perceive it and what we choose to look at. So when watching my content, definitely keep that in grasp and knowing that you have more control than what you may think. And I know there's some people who just wants to click on everything and because they're seeking something, their soul is seeking something, but your mind and your perception has to be open to it. Okay. And so getting into this message, I want to first say happy full moon in Gemini, my loves. And if you're wondering why I'm saying Gemini, that's going to be discussed in this conversation as well. Okay. As many of you know, I do follow sidereal. And I want to give a big background into the differences. But before we get into that, this message of what I was feeling was welcome back to ground zero. Ground zero is that place before any type of indoctrination entered your life. Ground zero was that place before people told you who you were and what you weren't. Ground zero was when you came into this space as a full spiritual being before being trained to be a certain way. This has been a transformative year for you to make it back to ground zero. And it's great to see that this last full moon within Gemini, because Gemini deals with perception, our communication, how we take in information, how we put out information. And this has been a year where a lot of the collective, if you feel attracted to this message, this year was a year of learning for you. You found yourself no longer being excited by futile things. You wanted something with more depth in it. You wanted something with more meaning to it. And this has been that year for you. One of the things has been in beliefs and understanding. This has been a year where you have been removing doubt, removing repressed thoughts and feelings. This has been a year where you have been getting back to source energy. This was a year when you realize you are source. So, the system of sidereal, of what I use, in which I go back and forth between sidereal and true sidereal. So there's three popular systems. You have tropical, which is what most of the Western world uses. That's what a lot of us were raised up with. And with tropical, the sun is the primary focus. And we know the sun rules the ego, what we want, what brings us pleasure, okay, in the physical. In sidereal, the moon, or many would say Vedic. So Vedic is a system from sidereal, but sidereal is the actual tracking. And in sidereal, it shows the actual placements of the planets in the sky. And so the difference between sidereal and tropical was created back around zero, was it BCE that time? Zero. And they use the placements of everything in the sky at that time and create fixed energy. So it went by the seasons. Well, when you travel around the world, you understand that everywhere in the world doesn't have four seasons. So it makes it non existent in other areas of the world. And so, tracking the sun and the movement of the sun, they chose to stick to an estimate of around 30 days, 30 degrees of the sun in each constellation. It was an estimate to make it easier. Okay. Well, in that aspect of making it easier over time, the placements have moved. The planets have moved at different speeds, and the tropical system is no longer correct. Sidereal looks at the actual tracking of the planets in the sky. So, with the changing of all the years and where everything has been at and where it's at now, and we notice that it changes, I think, is at like 1 degree every, gosh, 20 some years. So, then we have true sidereal. And true sidereal goes by the actual size of each constellation. So, with the other two systems, each constellation is put to an average of 30 degrees. With true sidereal, it goes by the actual size of each constellation. So, for example, the largest constellation is Virgo with about 52 degrees, I believe it is. So, we have the smallest one is about 14 degrees in size, which meaning that it's only 14 days really in that season, and so on and so forth. And so, sidereal looks at the moon. That's the primary focus, the lunar energy, which is what historically what the world used to be on, even with the calendar, which is why in a lot of parts of the world, especially within the Chinese New Year, they don't celebrate the new year until that lunar moon. Oh, my neighbor's black cat. Come through, Bastet. He be coming through at the right times. And historically, our furthest back ancestors followed the sidereal tracking. And over time, we have been led astray to an estimate, which goes to our ego. And so there is a way to use both systems together. Um, but I teach that in my classes and stuff. But that's something that a lot of you all have been looking at or you've been hearing a lot more of. You may have not really understood what the difference is, right? So with this back to ground zero energy of what I've been feeling has been this year of you fully learning truth. And in you learning truth, it may have even messed with some of your relationships who do not want to change with you. And we have to be remembered on this journey that it's not our job to change anyone. That was a mistake that I made a while ago. It's not our job to change anyone. It's our job to show up authentically ourselves and what we learn and who we are and let others see us for that. And if they decide to want to follow that, they can. We have the high priestess at the bottom of the deck. And so, with this last full moon, this is the energy of releasing those perceptions of others, releasing the perceptions you've had of yourself, and welcoming yourself back to your foundation and learning yourself. Ace of Swords, the high priestess of starting the energy off today. Ace of Swords is a lot of air sign, of course, Gemini. High priestess is Aquarius and Pisces energy mixed in together. A lot of spiritual energy. Okay. So, in this space of your life where you're at, you're just finding yourself looking at who am I in truth? Who am I at the core? I want to know who I am outside of the ego. And when I started following this sidereal system in 2022, it totally changed my life. And so now I know how to use both together. And then when you add in the progress birth charts, it makes it even more beautiful. I love Vedic when we look at the Mahadashas and the Antadashas of understanding what season of your life you're in. And when I tell you that system, it's been so accurate even up to this day of my life. And a lot of you all, if you are into Vedic, okay, I'm getting within your Antadasha, you're in like a North Node phase. And it's the energy of purpose. Or you're just still in that space of you've always felt like something has been off or something is not completely true. Hold on one second. Something, the seeking of more. And it first starts with learning you at your soul level, your soul spiritual level. Who are you there? Who are you without the ego? And this is a space of removing everything that you thought you knew, everything that seemed or appeared to make sense, and becoming something totally different into something anew. Welcome. Welcome. I'm hearing the radioactive again. I know I was channeling that song a little while, like last week or so. And in that song, they say, "Welcome to the new age." And many people, when we hear new age, it's been made to look a bad way. And it was revealed to me the reason why is because the system is crumbling, the facades are fading, truth is appearing. And what happens when that happens? People get desperate. We get infiltrations. We get people who want you to doubt. Don't go. Do not allow yourself to get to that space because you're uncovering truth. And it starts with uncovering truth of self. It wasn't until I started getting deeper into my sidereal chart that I was able to fully make connections of purpose, because I feel tropical is good for ego and what we want to be, right? The tracked energy of we're going to stick to the estimates and this is what it's always going to be, right? Of what we want to be, how we hope it to be. But allowing myself to shift and change allows me to go with the flow more. And when you're in flow more, you're able to become source more. One, two, three, four. And when you're able to become source more, you're able to truly see all the abundance that has always been around you. And it now just attracts to you. Spirit, what do we have for the collective that has made it to this part of the reading? A lot of you all, you have a different sun and a moon sign. You have a different sun and moon sign. We're starting off with the full card, baby. Zero, baby number zero. Okay, what we used to say, I'm baby number zero. I'm the first. Okay, reverting back to the time of childhood, infancy, newborncy, to start redefining energy, redefining things. Some of you all may have even got into, some of you all took a nice room trip, or you've been thinking about it, or getting into something within nature where it's like you may have been camouflaged for a while, but now it's kind of like you're tired of camouflaging and you're ready to show up for self because you feel like you have this deeper calling of self. Yep, 10 of disc. This new energy that you're walking into, it's definitely going to help you see abundance and blessings around you much easier. Yep, Prince of Swords. Seeing your divine authority easier. If you're at this part of this reading, I don't think you realize just how powerful you are. It gives divine authority and power and dominion. It's giving a lot of a set energy as I look at this peacock. Divine balance and finding truth. There's no more of letting your power and your energy be taken from you, because now you have more power over it. And some practices actually nurture the energy of feeling that other outside forces have more power over us, when in reality, that's not the truth. Which is why a lot of my goals have been of getting us connected to ancestral energy, because once we connect to that truly ancestral energy, we understand just how much power we have in the life of the living, because we were all once an ancestor. We were all once an ancestor. I'm hearing shapeshifter energy. You're realizing you can become whoever and whatever you want. So just because my sun sign and tropical may be Aries and my sun in sidereal is Pisces, I can act like a Sagittarius if I want. I can act like a Leo if I want. I can act like a Capricorn if I want. Because at the end of the day, we are everything. We can transition and fly through the cosmos as a spiritual energy, just like we can get in our car and drive in the physical world. Release the expectations of self. Release the definitions of self that have been set upon you. And a lot of you all are. Members, we have our cord cutting ceremony tonight. So definitely make sure to see you there tonight. Have some paper and something to write with. Come with open energy. And I will leave it up for those who would like to utilize the energy and the power of it at the future times, but it's just going to be stronger in the live session. So I hope to see you all there. I wanted to remind you all of that. You're not a fool anymore. You're not going off of what everyone else has told you anymore. A lot of Heru energy during this season. The Seven of Fire, protect, and then the Adalita of water. Protect your vision. This is what cinnamon and octatillo. Cinnamon is a very good protection energy, but then also an abundance, like bringing abundance in energy. Protect this vision, protect your journey. And as you allow yourself to stay protected within it and the journey, it's going to feel like every day is going to feel like a vacation. And I'm hearing don't stop the process. Don't stop it. Don't halt it. Allow it to flow and allow it to happen. Welcome to ground zero. Zero is a number of magic. It can become whatever. It is whatever. And as we get deeper into understanding source energy and our place with source energy, we realize we can become whatever, because it's always been in us. Most times we just have to relearn it. If you've made it to this space in this video, leave an emoji down below that represents you and your magic. Anything. And I affirm it all times 100, because you are walking in it and it's divine, and no one can take that from you. You are self sufficient. You have everything that you need. You're just at the space where you're removing the things that no longer suit and connect with you. I thank you all for being here. If you're interested in a personal reading, check out my website at monicole.com. If you're interested in extra content, check out my membership areas here on YouTube, Patreon, and on my website. Feel free to check out energyt.com, where we have all your spiritual needs from candles to essential oils to ancestor message candles and things of that nature. We will be having some new things coming in along with smoke blends. So definitely be on the lookout for that. I thank you all for being here. And as always, always be real, always be true. Don't be afraid to do what your higher self and your spirit is calling for you to do. I love you, and I'll see you later. Bye.